Hello, writers. Today is a very exciting day because you're going to finish drafting. I know you're thinking, well, I already finished. I finished my last scene and I ended with a bang and I had all of my problems fixed. But today is an exciting day because today you are going to add something into your fairy tale that's in every fairy tale. The thing that you're going to add into your fairy tale is the narrator. The narrator is the person that is talking to the reader. So not necessarily telling the story, but giving background information. And there are lots of narrators that you know really well. And I'm going to share my screen so you can see one of them. One of the fairy tale narrators that you know really well is Jiminy Cricket. And Jiminy Cricket, he talks right to you. He's so cute. He shows up at the beginning of Pinocchio with his little top hat and his little umbrella, and he talks right to you. Here's one of the things he says. One night, a long time ago, my travels took me to. And then he's going to give you background information. Remember when I told you that one of my favorite adapted fairy tales was Prince Cinders? Well, I'm going to show you how Prince Cinders, so Babette, added a narrator into her writing. Here is the beginning of Prince Cinders. Prince Cinders was not much of a prince. He was small, spotty, scruffy, and skinny. Background information. It's not telling us the story yet. It's just telling us what we need to know. Listen, the narration continues. He had 3 big, hairy brothers who were always teasing him about his looks. Background information, not telling us part of the story, but it's interesting information that fills us in on the backstory that helps us know. Now watch what happens when she stops having the narrator talk. One Saturday night, when he was washing the socks, a dirty fairy fell down the chimney. That's when the storytelling started. That's when the narrator stopped speaking. So when you add a narration at the beginning of your story, you're giving that really good backstory and you're filling in information that the reader may not get through the story. But you also add a narration between your scenes, and it helps to stitch your scenes together and give any information that's not part of the story. So today, you are going to work on writing your adapted fairy tale by using narration to give a backstory and to stitch your scenes together. I did this at the beginning of my story, in between my first and second scenes, and in between my second and third scenes to help stitch them together and add in back information that you needed to know. So watch how I did this. I used big sticky notes. You can use anything you want, but I used big sticky notes to add in some narration at the beginning. Once upon a time, not long ago, a young girl named Cinderella lived with her unfriendly stepsisters and stepmother. They lived together in an apartment in downtown Dallas. Cinderella was sad and treated poorly. Then it goes right into my story. One day, Cinderella was folding her stepsister's laundry. Then, after my whole entire first scene, I stitched my first scene and my second scene together, and I added in this narration. You see, Cinderella really cared about her city. She wanted to keep it clean and beautiful. She thought helping to clean the city was better use of her time than folding her stepsister's expensive gowns. That helps give background information that I may not have added into my storytelling. Here's the last background information that I used to stitch my scenes together. Once she arrived, she realized she was a little late. Notice how the narration doesn't have to be long. My other 2 were long, but this one doesn't have to be that long. If some of your narration doesn't have tons of information, that's okay. But you do want to add a narration to help stitch both of your scenes together. Here's your to-do list today. Remember that writers of fairy tales use narration or telling to introduce their story, and they stitch one scene to the next and they end the story. So today you're going to use your narration to give your story a backstory. So at the beginning, add a narration. Then between both of your scenes, add in narration. You need your writer's notebook and sticky notes or scrap paper to add your ideas. Okay, writers, If you like this video and all the other videos, don't forget to subscribe and to hit the thumbs up now so you know every time there's a new video added. I know you're so excited to go add your narration in. Get ready, get set, go write.